Alright, in this video we will be doing a little bit of cleanup and refactoring, because right now we have 3 different places where we're using text-to-image AI models. So we have the concept art section, we have the avatar section, and we also have the, what's the last one? The content panel, where we are creating images for content. And they're using 3 different models on this replicate.com service and 2 different methods of actually calling that API. So a little bit of alignment is needed. I think the best model we have right now is the one that we use in the concept art section, and that's exactly here on the create backend endpoint. This piece of code, I want to refactor it out and use it across everywhere. So let's start out by going to replicate in libs, and this is where most of this code for interacting with replicate is implemented. And I think here is a good place probably to implement a new method that will then take over. So we go text to image, just keep it simple, and that one will take in an object. Oh, how is it you do this? It will take in a config, which has a type where it gets a prompt. That's not required. A width, that should be required. A height, which is required. Negative prompt will make optional. A guidance, scale, which is optional. That's a number. And a seed, which is also an optional number. And this one will have to implement this piece of code that we have here. Just copy it over. And then now we then need to instantiate the replicate thing. We will do that within the method so that it's easy to use. Replicate instantiate. And to do that, we need to import it, of course. So we import this one. And we need to import also the env, because it has the secret that we use to talk with the replicate. Okay, that's not an easy way to find. There we go. Then we need these default objects. How do we do that? The defaults. And we have the negative prompt, which is config negative prompt, or just an empty string. Then we have the guidance scale, which is the same. Or I think a good default is usually 7.5. And the same for seed. Perfect. Then we just need to plug these in here. We do seed. Here we do config.width. Here we do config.height. This one will be I'm just thinking whether we want to have those qualifiers here, or if we put them the other place. I think we let them come in as extras. So that here we basically just take the config.prompt. That's fine. This one is the negative prompt just, and I think it's good that we add all this negative stuff always, so we ensure we get that in guidance scale. That, and did I mistype height, or why is it complaining about that? No. So I think this should be it, and then of course we want to return the output at the end of this. Why is it not happy about this? Just ESLint being slow. and it has to be an async function, otherwise the await will not work. So I think this does it. Let's import it over here in the concept art just to test it. Text to image. Oh, I guess we can just import it down here. So now we basically can do output here, which is awaiting on text to image instead. And of course we need to input that whole object thing. So the prompt becomes this part. The width is that number, comma, height, which is that number. Negative prompt will just be that part because the rest we already had. Inside the method, guidance scale will be input guidance scale. And we don't need the question marks now. And seed is the input.seed. Boom, boom, boom. And oh, there was a semicolon we have to get rid of. There. And now the rest here, I think we can get rid of. So basically all we have done now is to refactor this out. Let's try just generating some art here to see. Guidance scale is not defined. So we missed something. Not in this one. This one. Typo. Try again. Seems like it's working. So now we refactored that out. Let's see that it manages to create an image, and then afterwards we can actually update. Let's update the content panel first. Seems to have worked. Perfect. So let's go to content panel. And let's just do quests for now. Let's go now. Okay. Let's just edit this one. Basically, we need to now find that file. I can't remember where. I think it's, we have one called OpenAI. And I think, yeah, here we have this create image, which uses this request content image. And here we're doing a fetch instead of using the replicate command. So basically I want to make sure we're not using this method anywhere anymore. And I guess we're only using it in the OpenAI file. So that is good. Here instead I want to use the text to image. So I should be able to now just import text to image here. I want to get rid of this import. And then here I'll do text to image, and I need to of course give it this thing where as an object where I say here and width height. I think those are 512, both of them. Let's just check. So that is this one. We're doing 512. And all these negatives, we get replaced with the new ones. And yeah, it's a different model. So I think with this, we can remove this function completely because we're not using it anywhere anymore. You can confirm by searching for it. It's not there. And then we just need to see if this actually works. So let's see if I create a new content image here, if it works. Because what this returns is basically a prediction object that has this replicate ID. So it's exactly the same return type. just through the replicate API or through the replicate library. Seems to work. So now it's the same model being used for content images as for concept art. I think that's everything we need to do in the OpenAI file. So now we have to figure out where are we doing the avatar changes. So let's go to the avatar page. If it would load. I think we have to convert the entire application to app router, because if we do that, we can also start using TurboPack, which would probably be good for development experience. So when we create a new avatar, I think the method doing that is actually in here as well, in the replicate thing. Yeah, it's this request avatar method. Let's see where that is used. It is only used within this file. But this is the one we have to change, I think. Let's get rid of this entire method. Not doing anything special. It's 512 by 512. So let's remember that. And then are we using, okay, we're still using the replicate return. Yeah. But for now, we'll just do this, finish this, and then we're at least a bit further. Prompt, let's do explicit, and come on, it just had it like that, yes. So let's see if this works. If I create a new avatar, it should now use the new model. And we can follow along here on the replicate page to see, just send this request. And that seems to work, it's getting everything. Just needs to fetch it here. Yeah, so that works as well now. So I think it's not completely, and we need more cleanup here. We also need to get rid of the whole double AWS thing, but at least now we have aligned a little bit on how we call these text to image models, so that's good. I will commit this, and then thank you guys for watching.